Hey guys, Logan here, and I am back to do Liam Neeson reviews. I'm going to be covering a few Liam Neeson films in the upcoming weeks leading up to the Commuter coming out of January of next year. I already did reviews for films like Taken, Unknown, Taken 2, The Grey, and Non-Stop. So for today's review, or for this week actually, my review is in my Liam Neeson series is going to be for A Walk Among the Tombstones. And just like in some of my Liam Neeson reviews, this one is going to contain, of course, minor spoilers. I'm not going to give in too many major plot details for this movie just in case you hadn't watched A Walk Among the Tombstones. This movie came out in the year 2014 and it stars a few actors besides Liam Neeson, like Boyd Holbrook, David Harbour from Stranger Things, and Dan Stevens from Beauty and the Beast, this year's version, live-action version of Beauty and the Beast. And this movie is about a private detective named Matt Scudder, played by Liam Neeson, and he was hired by a drug trafficker or a drug dealer or whatever to find the ones responsible for kidnapping his wife and then brutally murdered her. And Liam Neeson, of course, went out and do his job to find the ones responsible for kidnapping and murdering his newest client, the drug trafficker / dealer, and bring them to justice. And right off the bat, I will say, I like this movie. Is it a perfect film? I would not really go that far. It's not really a perfect movie, I will say. But I will say, it's not a terrible film as well. Let's talk about Liam Neeson. He was fantastic as freaking usual. He plays a private detective, like I said before, who was hired by a drug dealer, I would assume, to find his kidnapped wife, and murdered wife, actually, and to see all the clues and details that Liam Neeson's character has to do to find the killers for this kidnapped and murdered wife of a drug dealer. I don't even know. Anyway, Liam Neeson, like I said, was fantastic. His character was really good. I really bought into Liam Neeson as this private detective. He's not so much like Brian Mills or Hugh Jackman's character in Prisoners, which I didn't watch, but I heard so much about Prisoners. But he still had that side of him that pretty much made him a badass. Not so much like Taken, but still has that badass side of him. And I thought, yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah, I really love Liam Neeson in this film. He was by far the best part in this entire film. This one black kid who played TJ, I believe, he did a good job playing an associate to Liam Neeson's character, Matt Scudder. And he wasn't really great, but he was pretty good. I mean, there were certain things he did that made you go like, really? That's the best decision you could make? Really? But overall, he did a good job. He made a pretty solid performance as far as I'm concerned. One of the biggest positives I will say besides Liam Neeson about A Walk Among the Tombstones are the sound effects and the score. Both of them were fan-freaking-tastic. I kind of got the feel of watching a eerie and dark and creepy movie. I mean, I literally felt like I was watching a horror film, just based on how the sound effects sound like and what the score sounded like. Although technically this is not a horror film, it's a crime drama film. But based on the sound effects and the score that was put in this movie, just the way that they sounded like really made me feel like I was watching a horror film, and I thought that was really clever. Whoever did the sound effects and whoever did the score for this film did a fantastic job. I gotta give this movie praise, and the people behind this film praise for that. Now I gotta talk about a couple of guys who were responsible for kidnapping and murdering the wife of a drug dealer. One of them was played by David Harbour. You know, the guy from Stranger Things. You know who I'm talking about. Wow, he was disgusting and vile and gritty and just everything. Oh, you just can't stand his character, as well as his partner, who pretty much works with him on kidnapping and murdering, I would say, a lot of wives of some men or something like that. I don't know. Just, yeah, David Harbour, I thought, pulled off his performance as one of the two ugliest, disgusting, and vile animals. Because, this one guy in one trailer for this movie said they are not human. And after watching this film for the very first time, I can really see why. Now, I'm not going to give away too much just for those of you who have not saw this movie, but there was one scene where I was like, oh my god, that's disgusting. I'm not so sure if I want to watch that. It's something like that it gives you that feeling, and that's really good. I like that. If you really are expecting this movie to be very similar or very much like a Taken and Non-Stop or any other film starring Liam Neeson as an action star or whatever, you really are going to be disappointed, because there is not much action in there. There's only, I think I found one action scene. One. And that one action scene didn't even feel like an action scene. It felt like a suspenseful and very enticing and intense scene, or the intense sequence. And it really was directed in a way that kind of feels like you're watching, like I said earlier about the sound effects and the score for this film, a horror film. Now again, I'm not going to give away too much, but there was a scene that takes place at night, and I mentioned one action scene, and that action scene at night, the way it was, like I said, was directed, it didn't even feel like an action scene. Yeah, sure, it shows some action in it there and there, just based on who is in there and what is what. But basically, it's a suspenseful crime drama. Now, Scott Frank, I believe, who is the director of this movie, he directed this film beautifully. I don't think I ever seen a film, maybe I have, but anyway, this was one of the fewest movies that I thought was very beautifully directed. And that's very rare coming out of my mouth whenever I do reviews for movies like that. It's very rare that I would see a film where I would be like, okay, that was beautifully directed. That really made me go like, oh, wow. As I mentioned before, this is not a perfect movie to say. There are some flaws there and there, and I will say that one of the issues I have with A Walk Among the Tombstones is the pacing. I was kind of bored at certain scenes, but they were pretty minimum. They were really minimum because, and I will forgive the movie for that, because it was a slow burn type of film. And the reasoning behind this film being a slow burn type of film, being a slow burn, a crime drama thriller film, just based on that alone, I can let that go. This movie kind of builds up to the ending, or the climax, as most people would call it, of the film. Having a build-up starting from the very first act, I will say. The first act was kind of slow, the second act got better, and the third act got even better. It's one of those movies that you can watch and just be like, okay, it's building up to the climax, just let's go. This is a nearly 2-hour long film, and do I really think it needed to be that long? Not necessarily. Another issue that I have with this film are there were a few certain characters in the film. I will not mention who they are. You have to watch the movie for yourself. But there were a few certain characters in there that I didn't really care for all that much. The only character I really attached to in this film was Liam Neeson's character, Matt Scudder, and the character TJ, played by this young black kid, and stuff like that. This movie kind of lacked in character development for a few certain characters. who you don't really care for all that much and you don't feel attached to. That's one of my minor complaints for this movie, just based on that. But beyond that, beyond this movie being a slowly paced film, I couldn't help but like this movie pretty solid. It was a pretty solid, slow-paced film about a slow-paced crime drama thriller that stars my favorite actor, Liam Neeson. And he's the one that actually made this film better for me. Oh, and last but certainly not least, I did like how this movie ended. I really do. I'm not going to spoil it for you, just, again, for those who haven't watched it, but the way that this movie ends like that, end with an action scene. Not really an action scene, but pretty much an intense, suspenseful action scene that happens at the end of the movie. I like how it ended. I really do. I didn't really saw that one coming, to be honest. I was like, oh, okay. Well, that was surprising. So anyway, enough talking. What am I going to give A Walk Among the Tombstones? Well, I'm going to give A Walk Among the Tombstones a gold medal of honor. Now, after I got done watching this movie, I was kind of back and forth on what should I give this Walk Among the Tombstones, a gold medal of honor or silver medal of honor. But then after talking about this movie right here, I actually came to the conclusion that a gold medal of honor is actually the right verdict for me. A right medal of honor to give it, just for me personally. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. So anyway, guys, that is my review for A Walk Among the Tombstones. My next review in my Liam Neeson series is going to be for Taken 3. That's right, the third installment of the Taken trilogy. And also the final installment. So yeah, be on the lookout for my review for Taken 3 next week. So yeah, that's about it. So anyway, guys, those are all the updates for my upcoming Liam Neeson review. Coming to next week from today, of course. If you guys enjoyed my review for A Walk Among the Tombstones, please click the like button. And if you have already watched this movie, comment down below to let me know what you think of it. Did you like it? Did you thought it was okay? Or did you not like it? And also, let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite crime drama thriller film? If you enjoyed what you've seen here and you want to see future videos from me, please click the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so that you never miss a video. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great week, Battle Squad, and as always, fight the good fight. Peace!